Mr. Sayers.
May I speak, please? First of all, I'd like to apologize if I offended anyone, but the bottom line is I was trying to answer her question. And when I tried to answer her question, she engaged in another question that was derogatory toward me. And as a public servant and a public employee, I don't have to sit here and listen to someone being derogatory toward me, okay? I tried to answer her question, okay? Now, let me start out by shedding a little light on where we're at. This process has been going on for a long, long time. Councilman Krakowiak and Councilman Anderton have been on a committee that we've had conversations about this redevelopment for the last 6 months, maybe? On and off, more than that. And going through everything that we need to go through to put into these documents to get them out to the public. Now, everybody talks about John McKeon, and one of John McKeon's famous sayings was, you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. And I'm going to give you the facts of what's going on here. Okay? Number one, when we talk about transparency, I don't know how much more transparent we can be during this process, and I'll explain to you why. Number one, there's not just resolutions and ordinances on the website. Those documents went up on Friday, and there's a modification agreement, there's a financial agreement, there's an infrastructure agreement that explains all those issues, okay? That's number one. Number two, the mayor refused to move this project until those documents were in place. And you can vouch for that, and Councilman Anderton can vouch for that. Those documents, and today, I put those documents up Friday. I looked through those documents today. There's still a couple of things that are missing that I'm going to have put up probably by tomorrow. That's number one. Those documents are going to be put up for people to be able to review before our first meeting. Our first meeting will be an introduction of ordinances and resolutions regarding the modification agreement, the financial agreement, and the infrastructure agreement. Those documents are on the website for anyone to see. They're in the clerk's office for anyone who wants a copy of them. So when you talk about transparency, I'm not sure exactly how much more transparent we can be, except maybe write a letter to every person in town and explain what those documents mean. No, we can't do that, okay? That's number one. Number two, okay, the mayor has made a commitment not to do that until all those documents were in place. Now, if in fact I cannot get together what I need to get together by tomorrow to supplement those documents, this may not go forward on the 21st, because that's our commitment. Our commitment is to make sure that everybody's informed and everybody knows what's going on. The second issue, with regard to the robocall, that call went out to a specific area of town because in our last meeting, it was brought to our attention that the people in the redevelopment area didn't have an opportunity to sit down and talk. That robocall went out in a specific area from Washington Street back to Park Avenue to the Orange Line and both sides of Main Street. That's who got that robocall. And that meeting is for those people to come in and discuss with us one-on-one what their concerns might be. Anyone else in town who wants to come to that meeting can, but it has nothing to do with shutting anyone out. It had to do with trying to get the people in the area who had talked to us the last time to come in on their own and talk to us about what their concerns are for that area, because they live there. They live there every day. And that's why we're putting that meeting together. And that meeting is next Wednesday at Edison Junior High School at 7 o'clock for anyone who wants to go there. So when we talk about not being transparent, I'm just not so sure what you're talking about when you say that, because you're going to have a meeting where all these documents, you're going to have at least 2 weeks to review these documents. You're going to have a meeting to discuss these documents with the principals. Then you're going to have a second meeting to discuss these documents with the principals, and then they have to be voted on. So when people come up here and say, well, all you did was put these documents up so everybody could sign them and we're going to have a contract, that's not how this government works. It does not work that way. There are rules that have to be followed. These documents have to be approved at 2 separate meetings by this council, and if they are approved by this council, then we will enter into agreements. And the only agreement we're entering into with these individuals is a plan that they have so that they can finance this project. Now, I don't know what else to say, and I don't know how much more transparent you have to be, and just to go to Mr. Turner's point, you were in my office the other day. I don't know why you didn't hand this to me and ask me to answer these questions. I have no idea why you didn't give me this the other day when you came into my office. But let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I know. Did you ever call me and ask me a question and say, where were your answers for this? Did you ever follow up with that until tonight?
I was laid on my back and said, okay. That's where I was.
The bottom line is, if you want, I can stand with you after the meeting and answer every question on here. So the bottom line is, I think this administration is being very transparent with regard to this, and we're trying to get out as much information as we can, and we will get out as much information as we can prior to a vote being taken on this project.
Thank you. Councilman
Just a
Cirillo.
quick concern, Mr. Sayers. You stated